12. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of the Behind the Stripes podcast. I'm Rama, Peroo, joined as always by Tiger Athletic Hall of Famer and two-time World Series champ, Coach Dave Burroughs. Coach, great to see you today.
My pleasure. Good to be here.
Yeah, well, and this was an idea we've had in the works for a while. We wanted to get this gentleman on today, so glad to have Blake Smith with us. Blake, thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate you guys having me on. It's I think what you guys have started here has been awesome, and you got one of the best producers in the game sitting over there too. I mean,
joke.
Nobody better than Ripley sitting over there, so it's a pretty cool thing we got going here.
Well, appreciate you saying that. We've really enjoyed doing it. It's been a lot of fun. And like I say, we knew that you'd be a great guest to have on. If people have been out to a Cowley sporting event, you've likely seen Blake Smith out there. He's all around being the head athletic trainer here at Cowley. Blake, tell us a little bit about before you came to Cowley. What was life like? Where were you born and raised?
So I was born in Winfield. I grew up in Dexter. My dad, he worked at Union State for a lot of years, and he was a big banker around there. So we lived over there in Dexter and got to stay there until about third grade, and then we moved. My dad got a job in Pittsburgh, Kansas, so I moved over there. Went to Frontenac, Kansas, high school until about sophomore year. And then we moved back, and then I finished out at Dexter. So I've always been kicking around Cowley County, so Crawford County, but mainly Cowley. So
well, our last guest, Jenny Hoyt, she said she grew up in Dexter a little bit as well. So what was life like in Dexter for you during that time?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, you get together with all your friends, go ride bikes, go play pickup ball at the park, all that kind of stuff. And it's just small town. Has its benefits and its.
Sure.
And its drawbacks, but love Dexter to pieces. It's a big part of me. So really good people in that town, really good people around it, in the area too.
Sure.
So Frontenac was a big one too, though. I mean, that place kind of shaped and made me who I was. So lots of good memories in Frontenac, Kansas, Pittsburgh, Kansas too. Going to the football games, and Pitt State is it's a heck of a place to be at. Bucks out there, talk of the town. So it's really good area too.
Yeah, that's where my wife went to college, was Pittsburgh State. And as you mentioned, Brock Buckingham, former Tiger baseball player and assistant coach here, that's got the #1 ranked D2 team in the country right now, Pitt State. So
they're cooking.
Doing great things. Brothers or sisters, Blake?
Yeah, so I have three older siblings, Keith Smith, Kimberly Bailey, and Corey Smith. Keith was actually out with Dave when they went to Grand Junction and won. He's got a ring. So.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was. He was out there, worked with Bruce Watson. Kim worked with volleyball team, and then Corey played for Smithson.
Terrific.
When he was here, so I've been going to Cowley games since I was old enough to walk. I've been around here. I've seen what it is, and I've lived it. It's you got something wrong with your head if you're not all about this place. It's a really special place. Means a lot to me. That was part of the thing when I came back and everything. I wanted to work here. So it's a really special place to me. I feel like I've grown up around it. So.
Well, you've been very familiar with the Smith family then, going back quite a ways then.
Absolutely. Knew Dave really well. So I remember Blake taking along when he was just about yay high, coming to games. I didn't know he was going to be a student trainer for us at one time either. So
right.
We would have been a lot nicer to him if we knew he was going to come back.
Right.
Well, when you were growing up then, I mean, I know your passion for sports now. Did you play sports, or what was kind of things you were involved in when you were growing up?
Yeah, so I always wanted to play sports, right? Like I was involved in it, Obviously probably wasn't the best one out there, but I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to do everything I could. I wanted to be part of a team, Having people that count on you and learning life lessons through that is huge. So, I played football, basketball when I was younger. I'm awful at basketball, but
He looks like an NBA guy.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I got the height of Muggsy Bogues out there, so that's But no, all my older siblings got all the height. I got the leftover. I'm not. They're all above 6 foot. My dad was a big, tall guy, and I got my mom's side of the genetics on that. So we're all small on that side. But no, it was yeah, I played football, played golf in high school, played baseball in high school, and
Terrific.
yeah, I did it all. So
Yeah, awesome.
Blake looked like a center, just not a center in the NBA.
yeah,
Type center.
that was it. I was a long snapper and a center, and that was
You
the
pegged
thing.
it,
So
all
There it is, right
Yeah.
there.
playing that 8-man football, man, there's nothing like that 8-man over there.
That is
it's
great.
fun.
That does look like a lot of fun. I used to go to my cousins' games in Utah when they would play 8-man football, and that was great to get to watch them play against Dexter and those squads. But what kind of, after you graduated from Dexter High School then, what was your path after that? What took place for you after graduation?
Yeah, so the crazy thing is I came to Cowley as a theater major. That was like, we had always grown up watching Saturday Night Live, and our whole thing was who could make who laugh, you know, in the house. Like my older siblings are, you know, they're hilarious, right? And then I totally slipped my mind. I have a younger sister, Emily Smith. She just graduated, or is getting ready to graduate at Wichita State. I'm super proud of her.
Congratulations.
She's the best. She's my best friend, and
Wonderful.
you know, she's going through the nursing program. She just got a job at Wesley on the PICU and burn unit up there. So
Doing good things.
yeah, and that girl, man, I can't say enough about Emily. She's the best, and everything she's been through in her life, it's just it's incredible. So especially my dad passed from cancer in 2018.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I kind of stepped up and have done the best I can to kind of help Emily through, you know, not having him there, right? So, but she's been phenomenal. I can't say enough about how proud I am of what she's done in spite of everything that's been thrown at her. And, but yeah, so anyway, yeah, got done at Dexter and then came to Cowley as a theater major. I was actually going to work with Scott McLaughlin over there, and one of the best dudes.
Another Hall of Famer.
Man,
For sure.
made this place what it is, you know, on the theater side, him and Miss Ewing. And I was really into that. And I got here and started getting settled down. And I was like, man, this isn't my scene. This isn't my crowd. And I'd always wanted to do something along the lines of, you know, medical work. And I had an affinity for sports, right? So I went ahead and moved that way and went and talked to Flutie, because I had two best friends I went to high school with. They were in the athletic training program already. They were like, oh, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it. And I was like, oh, I'll tag along with you guys, kind of see what this is like, and got into it. First day, Flutie's like, you guys know how to tape ankles. I'm like, man, we didn't even have a trainer. We don't even know what a trainer is.
Boy,
you know,
yeah.
coming out of Dexter, our trainer was the bus driver.
That's how I was.
Right? And
Small
it's,
school guy, tapping aspirin on if it's hurt.
yeah, that was it.
Band-aided on there.
Coach, my leg hurts. Oh, okay, throw some atomic bomb on it,
Yeah,
get
no
back
doubt.
out here. You know, right?
Whirlpool. Jump in the whirlpool.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, then went out there with Flutie and was at soccer, and I was like, hey, this is kind of my thing. And that year, Flutie actually kind of did, it was the spring semester of my freshman year and the fall semester of my sophomore year. He was solo. He didn't have an assistant. So it was when the half was being built. So he put me in the half, and he was like, hey, I'm going to bounce back and forth. And he would be down there some days. And then, you know, he was covering everything by himself, which is, I've done it before. It's nuts. It's the worst thing ever. You know, it's, you're pulled every which way, but it,
I have something to say. Let's clarify it. How many student athletes are there at Cowley College?
It ranges on the year. I said approximately. I would say it's got to be around 280 to 300. You know,
Take a nice round number. You got two trainers. You got that's 150 kids per trainer.
yeah, and that's
That's not busy. I don't know what busy is.
no. I mean, and it gets out of control. And the fact that Flutie left me down there as a student, he trusted me. It kind of, I took that to heart. Even as a student, I was like, hey, if this guy's leaving me down here, he's, you know, solo. He's got to have something to back him up. So I went all in on it, and my friends are going out doing stuff. No, I got to be at the training room. I got to take care of stuff. And I love being with all the athletes are my friends, right? I'm going to school. Everybody knows me around campus. It was awesome. So, yeah, I just bought in and jumped into it, and we went from there. But, yeah, came here, got into that. And then after I went to Southwestern after here, I was going to go to another school, but the guy up there, and this has fueled me my entire career. I'm on my visit. I'm getting ready. I'm like 100% going there. I'm not going to roast him, say which school it is. But, yeah, he looks at me and he goes, JUCO kids can't make it. He's like, I don't think you'll make it up here. JUCO kids usually don't do good. And I knew the people that had signed up and backed me up on my letter of recommendation, and that was a slap to them. It was a slap to me. So I was like, I'm not going up here then. I'm going to go somewhere else. And I was so driven from that point, it got me to setting right here. So I still have the guy's email, and anytime I do something, I email him. I see him at convention, and he won't look at me. So it's like, that was,
That's been that chip on your shoulder, huh?
Man, it got me going. So, yeah, but went to Southwestern. They welcomed me with open arms, and loved the people there. Locke Schnell that's up there, great guy. Lisa Braun, absolutely did everything they could to make me feel like I needed to be there. I came in, I had gotten some hands-on stuff, doing what I did here, because that's the thing about our training program. When you come here, you're thrown into it. We got to use you to help us out, and
Sure.
we know what it's like at the next level. If we can get you ahead, you're rolling, right? So I feel like our kids that come out of here are way prepared, So, yeah, I went to Southwestern, and I felt like I was way ahead when I first got there, and came back down to earth a little bit in the classes when I realized that, okay, this is a little step up in the injury assessment and all that kind of stuff. We just had the basic groundwork, that we teach here at Cowley. And so working with football was different too. That was a blast. I learned a lot from football. You see so many injuries out there. You see crazy stuff. So got me prepared. And then Southwestern, I graduate, and I just happened to see Flutie. I was working at it was a volunteer thing to get some volunteer hours we needed to get there for community service stuff we did at Southwestern, and Flutie was at it because his wife was a teacher at Irving at the time. Now she's principal over there. But yeah, I see him, and he's like, hey, Dallas is leaving, and I might have a spot for you. And I was like, holy cow, everything's lining up. So, because that was always my dream was, man, I want to come back to Cowley. I wanted to stay around here because of my dad and my family, and it all just lined up perfect, and it was great. So,
What year was that again, Blake, that you came to Cowley or hired on?
I was hired at Cowley in 2016. It would have been in like June.
Okay,
So,
gotcha. Well, you mentioned, Coach, that basically an average of working with about 140 student athletes each per trainer. That doesn't count not student athletes, but people like you, myself, and you
absolutely.
that are in that training room too, and that Blake helps so many other people around this campus that are just employees or people that he knows. And so we got to, and I mean, there's no one better. I know if I'm hurting, I know where I'm headed. I mean, before I call a doctor or do anything, I come down and I'm sorry, Blake, but you're the first guy.
no, I love it.
See what you can do, and you're always great. So I appreciate that so much.
I like helping everybody, and it's one of those things too. I mean, I live, kind of paycheck to paycheck at times, and
Sure.
I understand how it can get costly. So if I can help people around here, or the kids, that's the other thing too. Our athletes, it's like you start getting into the insurance world and all that. It's things aren't cheap,
No.
and it's I've been very blessed with some things that have happened in my life, and it's but I understand it. So if there's a way that I can help people, or I genuinely care about every single person at Cowley. I want this place to do good.
Tell that.
I want this athletic department to be successful, and that's why I pour as much time as I do into it. It's not something that I think everybody could do. You kind of have to be like Ainsley Carson, my assistant. You have to be a special person to be able to do this job, and it's there's a lot of sacrifices in it. We miss we miss a lot of family stuff. We miss a lot of holidays. We miss birthdays. You know, I miss about everything except funerals. You know, and that's kind of a crazy thing. I got the summer to kind of make up some time, but during the year it's floored. And I'm not going to take away from someone else's success. You know, that's my big thing. Is my job is to make sure everybody can compete and be safe at the highest level they possibly can, and help the coaches do what they need to do. And that's how I approach it. So
He'd be hard-pressed to find someone that impacts more people on his campus than the two athletic trainers.
I agree.
You know, and he's been fortunate enough that he learned under some really good ones too. So, and he's carrying that tradition on as well. So
Definitely.
yeah, those guys, if there's look at a definition of overworked in the dictionary, you probably see Blake's picture by it right now.
Oh yeah, and Flutie, man, Flutie kind of instilled a lot of it into me. You know, that was the other thing. You know, when my dad had his cancer, he's getting up and going to work, and he's sick as a dog, right? And I'm sitting there wanting to stay at home from school or whatever, and I just don't feel like going. And my dad's getting up with migraines that are 10 out of 10s, and he just got chemo the next day, and he's going to work. And it's like, what am I doing? You know, I'm healthy. Like, quotes healthy, but I'm healthy, right? And he's going to work, and what excuse do I have? You know, it was kind of I don't know. I guess I was just raised that nothing's handed to you. You got to get out and do what you need to do. You know, if you make a promise, you go do it. So Flutie kind of instilled that too. I mean, that was who I walked into, is Jeff Flutie, the guy that's been here from, you know, the jump. Before that, we had Bruce was a trainer, right? And Bruce was big time. I used to love coming to the games, talking to Bruce Watson. He was like one of my favorite things. I'm a little kid running around, and he had that laugh you could hear you could hear it on the moon.
We had Morgan Summers. He was he was the bridge between Bruce and Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Morgan went back to Butler. He came from Butler. So.
Had some some unbelievable people
Top shelf,
that have been here in those roles, and so
and
had some great people to follow and learn from, and you've just continued that tradition on wonderfully. And I'm glad you mentioned Ainsley too, because she's been such a great addition to your athletics.
She's going to be fantastic. Whatever she does in life, she's going to be a stud at it. I mean, she came in as a student under us, and she was originally working concessions, and then thought, oh, I'll try this out. She jumped into it. She was the bridge that got us a partnership with K-State.
Yeah,
so that's like, we partner with K-State here. We also partner with Minnesota State. We had a former student, Marino Maeda, from Japan. She went up there. Phenomenal student. We've turned out some insane students around here, and
We don't have a spot for that young lady.
Oh,
she was really
man,
good.
she was unbelievable. And we've had some before her that were. Natasha Sanders was another great one. Allie Fry, Micah Jump. I mean, there's a list of kids we've had through here that are just phenomenal. And the girls we got now, Emma and Annie and Mackenzie, they're big time, you know.
Terrific,
and Ainsley was one of those. Ainsley she was kind of our jewel that got through here and went on after it. Because that's the other thing. I tell the kids when they're here, this isn't for everybody. It's a tough career path. You're sacrificing a lot for others if you do this. So some of them get here and they're like, hey, this isn't something I want to do. And they go on to a PT route where they have more time, or they go to a, you know, something that's more family driven, right?
Right.
And it's so it's just one of those things. We've had some good ones that haven't gone on and done athletic training, but still very successful, and we keep up with them and talk to them. I play golf with Micah every summer. Try to. I'm in a fantasy football league with him. And,
excellent. Yeah.
So it's but Ainsley is can't say enough good things about her. She's been a rock star. She's been probably a better assistant at times than I was. You know, under Jeff, she's the epitome of professionalism when she gets out and goes places, and very impressive young woman, and she's going to do great.
So yeah, we all can see that. That's wonderful. Blake, you were the recipient of the Integrity Healthcare Professionals Lifesaver of the Month Award and the Cowley College Life-Saving CPR Award due to saving the life of a student athlete here in 2020. Can you tell us a little bit about that incident?
Yeah,
I mean, that had to be an extremely emotional thing to be
it was
involved in.
there were so many things that lined up in that. Now I'm a pretty faith-driven person. May not come off as it sometimes. I could be better at it, but I am. And my thesis in college was over hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It's an enlargement of your heart, right, that athletes get, right? Mm-hmm. So we're at basketball practice again, going back to the missing things, right? I shouldn't have even been there. We had a Christmas party, my family did, and Tommy DeSalm at the time was when we had that team that they were just kicking it, you know. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Hey, we're gonna shoot around," and he's like, "You want to just come tape the guys and you can leave?" I said, "Oh, I'll hang around and I want to see the guys. It's their first practice back, you know, and I really like that team. I'll hang out with them, talk to them." So they come in and we're at practice and I just kicking around, you know, talking to them, and they did this drill. It was called speed threes, where they'd run and shoot threes the whole time. And the athlete comes down the court and he looks at us and they're like, what are you looking at? You just stand there, and he froze and collapses face first. And so I thought, okay, maybe he's running, he hyperventilated, because first thing in your mind when something like that happens is, okay, it's probably just overexertion, right? So I rolled him over, and he had no pulse. He was already turning blue, and he was doing what's called agonal breathing. It's like similar to like when you pull a fish out of water. It's a brain stem's last attempt to kind of get something going, or, you know, it's kind of the throws a death there. So rolled him over. I knew immediately what was going on. He didn't have a pulse, and I told Eric at the time, I said, "Hey, you call 911, you know, I'm going to go get the AED." So I sprinted in. At the time, we only had one AED between Flutie and I, right? We'd move it back and forth when we had an event. Now we've got 3, so we're really covered, and the college has a whole bunch now. But the next closest one was over in the Brown Center. If I hadn't had that AED in there, he wouldn't have made it. Oh. So it's one of those things, again, it's faith-based, right? My thesis in college is over exactly what this kid has going on. Wow. The AED is in there, just happened to be up here because I had moved it up from the half. Or I think Flutie had brought it up, but just happened to be there. I shouldn't have been here. I should have been at home at a Christmas party. I did 2 cycles of CPR on him and shocked him with the AED. It's not like what you see on TV where they, you know, just kind of, and they set all the way up because it contracts all the muscles in their chest, right? So he sets up, kind of caught him. He fell back down. I did another cycle of CPR, and he started breathing, and he kind of, his pulse started coming back. I could feel it come back, beating against my hand. So the whole thing took probably about 2-3 minutes tops, but EMS got there like right when he started coming back. So once he got back, you know, you think they're okay, right? You're hoping they're okay, but you don't know if it's going to happen again. Because at the time, I didn't know what caused this. You know, I could assume different things. And he had a incident at Garden City where his hand, his ring finger turned completely white. Everything else is fine. His ring finger's white. We take him to the hospital, and hey, no, everything's fine. It just, you know, Raynaud, something like that. It had been missed on I don't know how many physicals and everything, and just had this enlarged heart. And they got him to Andover Heart Hospital up there and did some surgeries on him that night and got him stabilized. And he's had quite a few surgeries since. Now he does some motivational speaking stuff. He got to speak at Rikers Park up in New York, which if you're a basketball guy, that's the mecca up there, right? So it's he's got an incredible story, and I keep up. He's pretty low key on Facebook, but I keep up with his mom still, and she shares updates on him. And kids had surgeries. He actually it was probably about a year ago now, it was the first time he'd gotten in the gym since it happened, because the doctors pretty much said, hey, you're never going to play again, right? So he comes back and does that, and just for a kid to go through that at 18, 19 is insane. And the kids here are very high-level athletes across the board. Like, that's the thing. If you're in the community and you're not taking advantage of what Cowley College offers here, athletic-wise, right? Even, it's insane, because the people that come through these doors and out here, you look at them and they look bulletproof, because they're in peak shape. They're, high level baseball guys we've had out there. We've had crazy wrestlers in here this year. Basketball, we've had across every sport. Volleyball, another sport here that's absolutely insane right now that kind of gets overlooked is cheer and dance.
Oh, yeah,
We've got girls out there that are gymnasts. We've got guys that are probably going to go to D1s and do that stuff. It's just every sport is phenomenal. So
First thing my mind popped back to when you started telling that story to us is Sunday night football, the Bengals and the Bills.
Right.
Is it Jamar Hamlin?
DeMar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin. Yeah, and we all lived that out. We all saw that horror. I can't imagine what it was like in the gym.
No, man, and Eric and Tommy, when that happened, were phenomenal. They were trying to help as best as they could, and Eric did everything perfect. Calling the EMS, he handled that. Tommy kept the guys under control, and the way that Tommy was phenomenal that night. Him and Eric both were, because it could have got out of hand. That's going on, and the guys are watching it. That's the other thing you got to think about. The dudes are watching one of their buddies that they've gone to war with.
He died.
Yeah,
He died.
Yeah, he was gone. So it was traumatic for them. It had to have been crazy, because I was fine through all of it. I didn't even think about it until it was over. And then the adrenaline crashes, and I felt like I'd ran a marathon, and it was nuts. And
the football players on that field that night are some of the baddest people in the whole world, and they were physically shaken by it.
They were brought to their knees.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember
visibly shaken for
watching
sure.
that happen and seeing what they were doing, and my heart was in my throat. It was like, I know exactly what this is, So it was, that was the thing about that night. Tommy, at the time, I was like, what are we still practicing for? Tommy got those dudes' mind off of it and got them going. Like, right after they get him out of the gym, they're taking him to the hospital. Tommy's like, all right, let's go, speed through. Got him back focused. It was the best thing for those dudes. Yeah. It brought normalcy to the situation, and it got their minds off of it. Now, they were worried and everything, but it was a stroke of genius in the moment that he did that. And it was just, I can't speak enough to what they did that night as well, because it was huge. And looking at some of the things and the importance of why we need trainers at stuff. I had doctors calling me, hey, if you're not there that night, he doesn't make it, And then we had the situation this year at another JUCO. A guy got elbowed. There's no trainer at that school, and he dies from a brain bleed, a concussion, because he goes back and plays in the game, and they got no trainer. It's
football player at Garden City passed.
Yeah, and that was the same year that happened. Was when this happened. It was, I did that here, and then they had that thing with him, and then there was Fort Scott had one. I think it was Fort Scott. And it was, it's,
And the good thing about it, if you're tuning in and you're watching, and you're a parent of a recruit, which hopefully there's people watching this, because we want everybody to get to know everybody at our college. Mom and Dad, your kids are going to be in good hands with Blake and Ainsley. So
yes, for sure.
Another reason to think about how good this place really is.
I appreciate it, because when you guys say that stuff, it means the world to us, because you guys are when we think about Cowley, we think about baseball, we think about Dave, we think about Rama, we think about the people that have been here for years, and those are the people that you're trying to impress. I want these guys to believe in the work I'm doing. So that's it's huge when you guys give us those compliments and stuff. So.
Well, I mean, and Coach knows all about all the things you do here. And like I say, if anybody that's been around Cowley Athletics, they know all the work that you do in the tireless hours. Like you say, you're basically a doctor. You're on call 24/7. So, but first off, thank you for what you did to save that young man's life. I'm sure the family is still, can't believe what you did, and is hopefully, this young man's going to go
worth more
on
than
a
a
great
plaque.
life.
Let's be honest. It was worth more than a plaque.
That
For
was
sure.
the thing. It was like I got the little award and stuff. It was like that was, secondary. That doesn't mean
For sure. Outside of things like that can be such a traumatic experience, though. What are some of the things you enjoy the most about the profession?
So getting to know, working with the coaches is probably one of my favorite things. It's been like that since the jump. That's part of the thing that I liked from the get-go was, hey, I feel like I'm part of the coaching staff. I feel like I'm here, and the coaches make you, they appreciate what we do, and they do an immense amount of stuff for us, and it's awesome, and but getting to know the kids too. I don't know how many weddings and stuff I've been to, and how many, like.
That word family comes up again, doesn't it, Rama?
It sure does.
No, and that's if you've been a part of Cowley Athletics or even just gone to Cowley, if you've walked on this campus, you're part of a family that lasts forever. I mean, there's kids that I went to school with here that I still talk to all the time. And it's just one of those things. Cowley's just it's a special thing.
You can't explain it either. You can recognize it and you can feel it, but you can't explain it. You just can't.
Yeah, and unless you've lived it. Now there's people that don't have good experiences, but you have that everywhere, But I would say it's 99 to 1, in the experiences coming here. It's working with getting to know the kids, the athletes, and the parents that come around. I mean, it's just wonderful people that have trusted their like kids with coming to Cowley, and it's that's a big thing too. When you meet them, it's like I always try to promise them, hey, I'm gonna take care of your kids the best I can, and Ainsley and I live to that.
Huge.
Now we don't bat 1,000. There's times where we miss things, and we try to get them in with the doctors and get it figured out, but it's we take that to heart. So
you manage a lot of different egos and attitudes between student athletes that come into the training room and coaches. How do you manage all those different egos and attitudes that maybe student athletes and coaches might have? Might not be the best day. They're coming in, they're grumpy, they've got they're
Right.
hurting. So how do you deal with some of those things?
A lot of it is I try to stay light as much as I can. That's the other thing. There's days where I have my days, right?
Sure.
Where it's I'm dealing with insurance, and I'm dealing with insurance companies will drive me up one wall and down the other. But just staying light. And at the end of the day, I mean, these people are again, it's that word family, right? It's when we have our athletic department meetings up there, it's a family gathering. We hash out issues like a family, Not saying we don't get into it and have to be reminded like, hey, I'm working the best I can. I've got 150 some kids that I'm going to see today. Ainsley has 150 down there that she's going to see. You got to work with us, If we had another person, we could, it'd be a lot better. But it is what it is, and it's just the things that we have to work with there. So a lot of it is just meeting the coaches halfway and getting them to, kind of understand, hey, we're on the same page. We want you to win. We want them back as soon as they can get back. And we're old school, and kind of our approach to things. Like that's another thing that Flutie kind of instilled in both of us, because Flutie was still head trainer when Ainsley was here. So she learned a lot from him as well. It's we don't want to hold people out unless we absolutely have to. Now, if you're 80% better than somebody else's 100 and you're willing to go out, I'm not going to stop you. We're going to do it the safest way we can, and it's all safety-wise. That's my thing, too. It's like, hey, as much as I want to win, we're not going to sacrifice a kid's future or a lifestyle or whatever, daily quality living for a game, you know.
I've had a front row seat for a long time, and it's a perfect blend. They'll get them back out on the playing field or the court or whatever if it's reasonable. If it's not, they won't. If they, Dr. Hagan, they have him on speed dial in Wichita, and he's really, really good at what he does as well. So
can't speak enough of that dude. That guy is a wizard. He's a human MRI. Like,
they'll come with a hangnail and expect you to miss 2 weeks, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Or you won't get the sympathy that goes with that, you know. But if it's a perfect blend now.
That's always a bit of contention between us and the generations of athletes that come through. Now, when I started, the athletes are totally different than, because it's almost been 10 years that I've worked here, which is insane. But 10 years ago, the demographic we got was so completely different from what it is now. And it's not that these kids are weak or they're lesser. It's nothing like that. It's been like that since the beginning of time.
I agree.
Every generation has looked at the one after them and they're weak. They're weak, right? So that's why there's always competition there, right? So they've been raised in a totally different world than what I was raised in.
More information. They can look on their phone and see what's wrong with them.
And everything in their life has been instant. So I can't blame the kid one bit for, Blake, why am I not better? Hey, I get it. You're used to, okay, what's the answer to this question? I have it in 5 seconds. Yeah. My teachers used to tell me, hey, you need to learn math because you're not going to carry around a calculator in your pocket every day.
That was wrong, weren't they?
Yeah, right?
They missed on that one.
Yeah, so it's and I mean, it's crazy. The things our athletes deal with today are totally different than what the athletes dealt with in the 50s or the 60s or the 70s.
Much more difficult now than it was when I was growing. Everybody just said when we were growing up, it's more difficult now. There's no doubt in my mind.
And mental health has been put at the forefront of it because everything is so out there. You know, you look at Twitter and you look at Facebook and you look at Instagram and every social media there is, TikTok, whatever. You're getting all of the worst news in the entire planet in 30 seconds. Like you've got it right there. So yeah, no wonder, anxiety and everything is through the roof. It's constantly blasted at you at Mach speed,
That's right.
So our athletes are dealing with that. They're coming to college. It's their first time away from mom and dad. It's their first time getting out being adults. They're making mistakes. That's the whole reason you come to college is to learn, right? So you're learning in the classroom. You're learning in life. You're trying to figure out things. So it's a lot. I get it, and it's, I was listening to an audiobook. It's the biography of Ted Williams. Which is nuts. I mean, that guy's life was crazy. You look at there was that run in the 40s he had where he hit 406, wins the Triple Crown, 3 years of World War II.
Yeah, amazing.
Gets all that, comes back.
2 wars.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, fought in Korea, comes back, wins the MVP, wins the Triple Crown again. It's like, are you kidding me?
And never missed a beat.
Never missed a beat.
Yeah. Unreal. Yeah, incredible. Just to shift gears a little bit here, but you've been around some great coaches at Cowley, and I love watching you when you're out there. You're so invested. You were a part of the team basically when you're out there. I mean, whether it's volleyball, basketball, whatever sport you're out with, you are part of that team, and you are. But what has it been like? I mean, do you feel that? Do you feel like you're part of that team too? And what's it been like to work with some of these coaches at Cowley?
So when I started, really, honestly, when I was a student, I was out with Dave and Darren, I had kind of been, I didn't want to like jump in and feel like I was intruding, right, as a student, because you're a trainer, you're with that team, but you're not playing on that team, right? But all of our coaches here, and I can speak 100% for every single one, makes every single manager, athletic trainer, volunteer, any of it feel, hey, if you're out here and you're going through it, you're in the trenches with us, you're part of it.
Terrific.
And Dave and Lefty were really two of them that started that with me as a student. I went out there to baseball. I was like, okay, well, I'm walking into the Lions Den, you know, because it's Cowley baseball. You're walking into something, right?
Yeah.
And I was blessed that Snoffer was the manager out there at the time, so he took some heat off of me. Which there was another target out there, so it was that team was it was fun. It was an awesome team, but no, it was like day one. I walked out there and the guys are all, hey, here's a Cowley baseball hat. You're out here. You're part of it, and it's
awesome.
It's just, you know, when I came back to work here, it was, I don't think I probably should have felt that way, but I felt like I needed to prove to everybody I'm not a student. I'm back, and I felt like I had kind of gotten there, and then the whole episode in the gym where I saved that athlete. It kind of put me over the edge, and it was like, okay, the students, you know, I felt like I got
some street cred.
The rest of the people on board, right? Yeah, and
credibility.
And that's what drives me too.
You didn't need it, but it's just something that you inherited.
In my mind, that was what it took. Yeah. It was like, all right, I got it. But I mean, I've never had anybody question, you know, and same with Ainsley. Nobody's ever really questioned like, hey, I don't think you know what you're doing. You know, everybody understands if we're here and they see the things we do, and they're like, hey, you're at war with us, so that's what we're, you know, you're part of it. So it's Steve and Lena. They do an awesome job too, man. That was the thing. Steve, it was back when I started, and I'm kind of staying out of stuff, and he's like, hey, you're here. He's like, you're part of it. He's like, you're getting in the pictures, you're getting in. So it's just kind of, you know, it's a special group of people that I'd put our coaches against any coaching staff in the entire country. You know, that's when it comes down to it, we out-coach places that are unbelievable. Like you look at some of the funding and things some of these other schools have.
Oh yeah, the resources are different.
Unbelievable. And it's not a knock on what we get, but it's just some of them are at such a high capacity, you know, funds that we don't have. And that's one of those things I love about Cowley is I feel like we're blue collar, right? I love that because I'm not the uptight, you know, I don't like that way of life. I like the blue collar in the mud, getting your hands dirty stuff, right? And I feel like that's been our kind of slogan in our brand in the athletic department. It's like, hey, this is what we got, and we're going to go out and we're going to beat the heck out of everybody that gets in front of us. And it's, you know, when you're beating places like that are from Dallas, and you're beating places from Omaha, and you're beating places from
Florida,
Miami,
you name it, right?
Florida, and it's like you lost to Ark City, Kansas. If that doesn't get you fired up, there's nothing on earth that will. You know, you don't have a pulse if you can't get excited about that. So
agreed. You know, we've had a great talk with you, Blake. We got a few more questions for you, and I don't want to take the mood down because you're such a positive person. But that's one of the things I wanted to ask you about is you are such a positive person. And you've experienced loss in your life. I mean, you talked a little bit about the loss of your father. You lost your grandfather not long ago as well. And yet you mentioned your dad and how he had the fight in him to continue to come to work when battling cancer. And is that kind of where you got that from? I mean, you know, because, you know, you went through the mourning process, obviously, but you were right back to work, just, you know, and you seemed like when you came back to work, you were still the same old great bubbly personality. And I'm sure inside it's different, but how have you been able to handle that adversity that's been thrown at you in your life? Because I'd like to know, because I have a tough time dealing with loss.
Right. No, it's so my mom and dad. I'm very close. I was very close with my parents. I'm extremely close with my mom.
Love that.
She, you know, and I wouldn't be where I am without what they have done for me, and I don't let that be overlooked in my daily life. It's one of those things that our family just kind of, you know, dealing with that. It's kind of like expect the unexpected, you know, if it can happen, it will happen, you know, approach to things. But at the end of the day, there's nothing you can change about anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, why let myself be affected by something that's done and it's over? You know, does it still hurt? Absolutely. Are there days where I'd love to call him? 100%, you know. But there's no sense in me bringing down everybody else around me and myself, because he wouldn't want that either. You know, it's just, it's one of those things too. And my other grandfather, he was in a wheelchair. He just passed here not too long ago as well. But he was in a wheelchair. He was in a car accident when he was in his teens. They were driving a car and wrecked it, and he was the only one that made it out paralyzed. Everybody else was fine. And I mean, he used to. I'd ask him about that, like, hey, you know, how did you handle that? He's like, because nobody else could have. He's like, if it was one of them, they couldn't have handled it. And they told him he was going to live till 33, and he made it to his 70s. So it's like,
wow,
you know, that guy got up every single day, got in a chair, knew it wasn't going to change, and he was still, you know, just, hey, this is what it is. I'm going to make the most out of it. And, you know, I had those kind of people around me. So it, you know, that's just who I learned from. And there's no time to be sad or mad or ticked off. You just gotta roll into it. And I like to make people laugh and feel good. So that's what I do. I just go.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've had some great role models, and I'm sure that your mother and your father and grandpa, all of them are all very proud of all of what you've accomplished. And we're just so lucky that we have you here at Cowley because, you know, like I said, Coach and I, we value you tremendously, that we know that we can come in there anytime. You've got an open door.
Oh, yeah.
And we appreciate that because we know how busy you are with student athletes, but we're always in there. So.
This guy over here, I couldn't make it through a lot of stuff without him either. He's my coffee in the morning, man. We solve 99% of the world's problems in there.
Have to resolve them every day. That's the problem.
that's the thing. Hey, the problems are still going on. All right, well, let's fix them all over again. So,
yeah, you know Blake about as well as anybody here on campus, and so I'm sure you're proud to see his growth too and what he's done.
So happy that he came on and was able to join us today as well.
Blake, before we wrap things up, kind of, you know, when you do have free time, which is not very often, but what's some things you like to do?
So I just got a little house. It's down on the river, and I'd been going out there and fishing and just setting out, and it's quiet. And when you're around everybody and the hustle and bustle of this and the constant just floored, you know, it's 100 miles an hour every day. So, I mean, we might see 70 people through there, or we might see 20 one day, or, you know, it just depends. So going out there and just relaxing and you know, getting away from the noise is awesome. I like to, my grandma, she taught pretty much all of us in the family how to carve too. So I like to carve, kind of do some decoys and stuff like that. I'm a big kind of outdoorsman kind of thing. So it's, yeah, she's awesome, and she's passed that down throughout the years. So that's just kind of my outlet. I like to travel, like to do all that kind of stuff too. And it's I'm big time sports, so it's always on TV, and it's that's just kind of my life. It's all sports. So
yeah, before we came on here, you were even talking hockey. So I mean, you're football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever.
Yeah,
huh?
I used to watch. You know, I felt like I was kind of one of the only ones that watch hockey. Rama watches it. You know, he'd kind of touch base, and then we got Jeremy up there.
Man,
Jeremy's
full bore.
Man, that guy's awesome too. He's great at his job.
He's perfect for you to come in and talk hockey.
Dude, I felt like I knew hockey, and then I met Jeremy, and I was like, I don't know anything. He's like an encyclopedia. I use him all the time. Hey, Jeremy, what's this guy? He knows like the guys where they got drafted, where they went to high school. He's in it. So it's been awesome having him up there too. But
terrific, you got it. All right, now make Jeff Flutie proud here. No, I mean seriously though, we know what Jeff's music tastes are.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure you heard some of that probably in the training room, maybe through the years or in a car with Jeff.
Oh yeah.
What's kind of your music go to when you're driving down the road?
That's the thing too. I mean, I love Ted, good old Ted Nugent. I just joined his fan club. I'm
nice.
Ultimate Gonzo. Flutie and I are both on there. So
back when he was in Damn Yankees, I was a huge Damn Yankees fan. I used to go watch him in concert. I saw them 3 times, so it was great.
No, I'm big time. Like I really like classic rock, outlaw country, you know, red dirt stuff. But I mean, my iPod looks like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Man, it's got. I'm a metalhead too. I listen to the crazy stuff. I listen to Lorna Shore, and then I'll go switch back to country and hip hop and whatever. That's the thing too. I find so much new music from the kids coming in. It's like
I bet.
I listen to all of it, and it's, you know, bluegrass. It runs the gambit. It's a total schizophrenic playlist on there.
It's always a better day when he throws a little Leonard Skinner on it.
Oh man, that's my go-to. the wind changes directions and I'm playing Freebird, so that's
the
usually
the aches and pains kind of go away when he throws little interceptions.
That always helps. What about TV interests? Is there anything that you're into when you're watching TV?
So I
Other
watch
than sports, I guess.
Other than sports, I watch. I'm really big on I'm a real big history guy too. That was another thing when I was in high school and everything. I was thinking about being a history teacher, and so I'm big time on the documentary stuff like that, and all the like Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, Peaky Blinders, all that kind of stuff. The crimes. Yeah,
Sure.
that's my forte too. So all those series. Man, I'll get lost in those and binge them. That's what I have to do is binge them because I get one day off every month. So it's like, all right, we're watching the whole dang.
I'll always text him like, okay, Blake, I'm looking for something to watch. Tell me what to watch. So
Good deal.
yeah,
He's your go-to on that. Huh?
yeah, absolutely, because he knows more than I know about it. So right now I'm watching Reacher. You like Reacher?
Oh yeah, Reacher's good.
That's a good series.
Landman's awesome too.
Yeah. Yes.
That's one of the good ones. And I watch Barstool all the time too.
Yeah, sure.
Barstool said one of the funniest things yesterday. It was baseball starting up and everything, and they were like, who's going to be the first guy to take time off to recover and stuff? And this other guy on there he was like, well, he goes, it's smart that they're taking time off because Nolan Ryan, after his first 5,000 innings, he could only strike out 16 of the Blue Jays when he no-hit them when he was 40. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's...
Save his arm.
Yeah, save his arm when he's 40.
Blake's always good in the training room about pulling up a bar stool, or he'll also throw a little JB on
Oh,
you
man.
too.
Yeah,
JB's
right.
as
There's
unhinged
a
as
laugh
it gets,
started
man.
when we started watching all that kind of stuff.
That's
It's hilarious.
for sure. This has been great, Blake. We sure appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you guys having me. It was a blast. It was a little nervous coming in here, but shoot, you guys are the best. So
Man, we love just being able to sit around and talk like this. It's almost like we're just sitting around, in your training room, just being able to talk with each
I
other.
only got one thing to say. You've heard Rama at his best, and he has a joke of the day. So when you leave, just kind of stand over there. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's taking the joke telling to a different level.
I mean, these jokes are just going over unbelievable. You should see the fanfare, the mail I get, saying, hey, where do you get these jokes?
I
These
would
are
imagine
amazing.
the phone lines are lighting up right now going, hey, when's he going to tell a joke? I've watched it for a long time. He needs to tell that first so I can go on about my lunch.
I see Kris keep answering the phone lines over there. Just chill
absolutely.
out. The joke's coming. All right.
There's just not enough time in the day.
If you have some time, hang out for just a couple minutes.
Yeah,
You can listen to this unbelievable.
all righty, I'm ready for
All
it.
right, guys. Well, here's, you guys have probably had telemarketers call you and stuff, right? I mean, that's no fun. A guy called me the other day and tried to sell me a coffin. I said, that's the last thing I need. So, yeah, okay. Got it?
Told you it's next level, Blake.
All right, guys. So that's your joke of the day, everybody. You can.
I'm gonna go tell that to every kid that walks in today. They're gonna listen to it.
That'll be a great way to keep everybody out of your training
Yeah,
room, Blake.
that's the thing. Hey, I got a joke for you.
No, I'm
Right out the
good.
door.
I'm good.
Yeah. Well,
My,
thank you.
my shoulder feels good, Blake.
Labrum fixed itself.
Well, that went over really well. Okay, good, guys. So, all right, some events at Cowley. We've got trivia night in the Nelson Student Center tonight from 6:30 to 8. Fall enrollment begins tomorrow, so get enrolled for those classes here at Cowley. We got Easter coming up this weekend, so there'll be flashlight Easter egg hunt Wednesday, the Nelson Student Center, 8:30 to 10 p.m. And then tennis teams. Blake, will you be out with tennis on Thursday?
I'll be at our big softball. We
Yeah,
got
boy,
huge
tennis and
game.
softball.
Yeah, we got
Huge.
Johnson.
We got our tennis teams hosting Pratt on Thursday. Those will start at 1 o'clock at the Arc City High School tennis courts. And then softball, as Blake just mentioned, huge doubleheader versus Johnson County Thursday at 2. So come on out at 1, catch some tennis for about an hour, and then go on out and catch the doubleheader. Johnson County's 4-0 in the conference. Our Lady Tigers are 3-1, so trying to be able to get a couple wins and move into first place. And then baseball they're playing today, actually, at Hutch, and just beat Hutchinson 21-20 in a dogfight a couple weeks ago, and we're going to be at their place today, and then we're going to be at home for Labette in a doubleheader Saturday at 1 p.m. And the Tiger baseball team coach has won 9 of their last 10, and really starting to see some good things.
Yeah, starting to play a lot better. So I think today I hope they took their kicker. Nowadays you got two. You got a short guy and a long guy in college, so I hope they took the long guy because they might need long field goal today to win the game. The wind's going to be blowing out at Hutch, and that ballpark plays really small anyway. So I would be prepared for another long 4-hour day.
That game got a little contentious down here
Yeah,
too, so that'll be
got a little
there'll
chippy.
be some,
Yeah, a
some
little
fire
chirpy,
behind
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, well, we're hoping the Tigers can get a midweek win today, and then they'll be at Labette to start that 4-game series on Thursday before coming back here Saturday at 1. So a good week of sporting events. Get out to watch some tennis, some softball, some baseball, and we appreciate everybody once again here for the Tiger Stripes Beyond the Stripes podcast. Coach, thank you very much, as always. And thanks for recommending getting Blake on here.
I really enjoyed it.
He'd be a great person to get on, and you really wanted him to have a chance to talk about his program.
Yeah,
So.
I
you did a
appreciate
great job.
you guys again. It was a lot of fun. Thanks again, Kris. You did awesome over there. So
Yeah, and thank you for talking about your great staff with Ainsley and your student athletic trainers. We appreciate all you do. So
awesome. Well,
thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
And thank you, Kris Ripley, once again for bringing this to you. He does all the work behind the scenes to make this happen. So thank you, Kris, Coach Dave, Blake, myself, Rama, Peroo. We'll catch you again next Tuesday for the Behind the Stripes podcast.